All right, let's see how that's different. Good morning. How are you today?
Good. Doing well.
Mm-hmm. Hi. So there's a question out there as to the New Testament. How did we get the New Testament? What set of events got us the books that we have? There's certainly a lot of theories out there. Some people claim that a lot of what is in the Gospels is lifted right out of the Greek literature of the day. Some people say that the Romans founded Christianity. Others believe that Christianity is inspired by Jesus, or that Jesus is the founder of Christianity. I think most Christians actually believe that Jesus started Christianity, while most biblical scholars believe that it was Paul who started Christianity. And I tend to go with the scholars on that it was Paul, not Jesus, who started Christianity. I believe that Jesus did start a movement, and that we know that movement today as Karaite Judaism. But what it really is the logical extension of Hebrewism. If we look back at the founding fathers of the Abrahamic faith, we do not see a priestly class. And I even question whether when Moses came out of Egypt that he taught about a priestly class. I think that the addition of Aaron was placed there in order to have a priestly class and to set the Levites apart from the rest of the Jews, as it were. The rest of the, what do we call that period of time? Interesting. Well, this is quite lovely here. I've never been here before, but anyway, we're getting off the subject because the subject is about how the New Testament came to be. I believe that most scholars today are emphatic that Paul, not Jesus, started Christianity. And if that's the case, we need to examine if Paul is really an agent provocateur in the Jesus movement and has actually hidden Jesus' teachings from us. I do believe this to be the case, and I believe that there's a great deal of evidence to point to this. The only thing that really points to the Christian faith as being as coming out of the Jesus movement is the traditions of men. It is not even the texts themselves. So to lay a foundation for this subject, we need to understand that there were two predominant groups at the time. And just like there's Catholicism and Protestantism today, in Judaism there were the Sadducees, who only believed in the Torah. They did not believe in the prophets, and as this is the case, they were able to justify to themselves the animal sacrificial system. When I read the prophets, I find almost all of them to say God does not want you to sacrifice anything except the idea that another person could ever sin against you. They're God's rules, they're not our rules. People can sin against God, but they cannot sin against another human being. When somebody misses the mark, as far as God is concerned, in our relationship with Him, then it is our job to forgive them their sins so that God may forgive us ours. So that is the Sadducees. They were put in power by the Roman government. They did not really believe in the God of Moses. They believed in the God of the scribes, as it were, who Jeremiah tells us have changed the law. And of course they've changed the law, because that's what people in power do, is they take more and more power. So then we have the Pharisees, which is very much like Protestantism, that there are thousands and thousands of different denominations of Protestantism. And there were many houses of thought. We have two examples of two, the House of Hillel and the House of Shammai. And I'm going to make a supposition here that most of these Pharisees were looking for a Messiah. They were not looking to God alone as their salvation. They were looking for God to anoint some human who would run the Romans out of Judea. So we must go back to the Torah again, which is absolutely full of doublets and some triplets, and examine those doublets to determine, which of these doublets was written by a scribe and which one came from God. I believe that God alone is our salvation, and that when we examine the conquest of Judea, which is directly after the Torah, that we have two parallel stories. One, that Joshua led men in battle, and another story where God would displace the people living on the land as his chosen people expanded. And so there wasn't supposed to be any mingling, there wasn't supposed to be any war. You live over there, we live over here, we don't interact with each other, and when God runs you out of a place, we take it over. I believe that is the story of the conquest of Judea under Moses. I got company coming. I'll turn you off.